Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody else in between, good evening and welcome back to Tranquility Gaming Season 8 playoff coverage. Tonight, we begin the North American side of our second playoffs week with our Harmony Tier feature match, where the number 9 seeded Shake and Bake will try to continue their playoff run against the number 4 seeded Jersey Boys. Will Jersey Boys be feeling the heat, or will Shake and Bake be dealing with the devil tonight? My name is Balzid. I'm joined here by Dividing on the cast, Hippie on production, and Kothar and Juke on observing. Dividing, how are you doing this fine night?
I am doing fantastic today, Balazzi. Really excited to get back to my roots a little bit and take a look at what's going on in the amateur league side of things. Haven't done a lot of casting for Tranquility, so I'm going to be depending on you a little bit to be the sort of Tranquility lore master here. But super excited to see what both Shake and Bake and Jersey Boys are going to have to offer us today. With the season on the line, right? This is a knockout match. Winner ends up going on to moving forward in the playoffs, and the loser's season ends here.
Absolutely, and it's an interesting situation for both of these teams. Shake and Bake, a very rough start to the season, ended up recovering in stage number 2, and last week they got a win up against the Gehenna Gatekeepers to bring themselves into this match. Jersey Boys, on the other hand, has seemed like a strong team all season, but last week they lost in a full sweep to the Luminous Foxes, and now they are facing that elimination territory, which could be the decider in this entire series. So it's going to be interesting to see who gets the advantage in this series and who's going to be moving on. And you see these rosters right here, a lot of recognizable names, especially if you're a fan of the Jersey Boys. Grodzilla, of course, one of the most recognizable main tanks in the league, known for his aggression. But Shake and Bake coming out with a very interesting roster with not a lot of names recognizable in Tranquility, but still been making a very good impact thus far.
And hey, don't underestimate the fact that Shake and Bake are going into this game off of a win, and Jersey Boys are coming off of a loss in the last week. Being able to have that momentum and morale that comes with winning in the last week is actually super huge for Shake and Bake, especially as a team that tended to struggle earlier on in the season. They were perfect in stage 2, managed to push that forward into a win in the first playoff game. So all of the momentum is on Shake and Bake's side right now, even if you would think that Jersey Boys would have the advantage just based off of seeding.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see which one of these two teams heads into this match and comes out with the victor, as we're going to be heading into our first map here. Since Jersey Boys are the higher seed, they choose the first map, and they have chosen Ilios for our first control map. Very interesting sort of map to start off here, especially if you're a Reddit Lucio fan.
Oh, Reddit Lucios love Ilios. Of course, we all know about the environmental potential here on Well, on Lighthouse, even on Ruins, just a little bit. There is some environmental potential, but I think Ilios is known very well for being. Never mind, we've actually been debated by the production crew.
It happens. But instead, Nepal, which still has that Sanctum, which can really work out in terms of being able to use those environmental kills, but still has a lot of different styles and really could favor either one of these teams. As I said, of course, Jersey Boys, a very brawl-heavy team. This could definitely favor them.
Yeah, if you're a brawl-heavy team, you're not at all sad about this one. You got Village, which is a very brawl-centric map, especially with how the point is really enclosed by those walls. It really lends itself to the Reinhardt-based compositions. You've also got Sanctum, where I think you can definitely make a brawl composition work. Though at the higher level, it seems like it's more of a dive-centric kind of map or a six-man rush kind of map. Teams that are able to sort of traverse the long sight lines that Nepal has to offer quickly and are able to either surround or just overwhelm the other team tend to end up coming out ahead here on Nepal. That being said, one of the things that I love about control maps in general is that the sub maps really open things up for a lot of different styles of play.
Definitely. You don't really have to stick to the stock standard, what is normal meta on these maps. You could run something that could be completely unorthodox and be able to get away with it. And that is the fun of these maps. And we're going to be heading into Nepal here, starting off on Nepal Village, which already from both teams here dividing, definitely is the Sim May map.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams are going to be using that Symmetra teleport from Bento and Crispy to get right out onto the point, and it's looking like both teams are going to be going to the point as quickly as humanly possible and try and set up those Symmetra turrets to try and set up that microwave. That being said, there is an important discrepancy here on the off tanks. BB8 is going to be going for the Diva, while YGC is going to get rid of that Ant-Mate defense matrix for the shield.
Yeah, definitely a big pick there from the Jersey Boys, finding Fury on the side of Shake and Bake, and now they're just pushing straight forward. Titan finds the kill into Sammy Miami. Godzilla will fall, but at the end of the day, Jersey Boys quickly and effectively deal with the remnants of the side of Shake and Bake, and they'll be capping the point first.
Yeah, you can't be losing your Baptiste that early on into the fight. That's your main healer in these kinds of compositions, and without that Baptiste, you just don't have the healing available to you in order to sustain through the fight. And now you see how that affects the rest of the match, because Pete is so close to the amplification matrix, doubling Fury right now.
Shake and Bake trying to take a little aggressive here on this right side. Titan, I believe, is still running back from spawner. He just got back into the fight. Shatter comes out from Godzilla, lands right into Sammy Miami, eliminates that Reinhardt threat immediately here for the side of Jersey Boys. And already you see, they're just trying to take it slow here. They use the amplification matrix, and just like that, another fight win for the Jersey Boys.
And Godzilla immediately showing me why they were listed as, quote, the best main tank role star in my notes sheet. Absolutely owning that frontline duel to start. That being said, I think this team might have gone a little bit too far. You lost two to the Lucio, and now you're going up against that Gravitic Flux.
Yep, the Gravitic Flux invested here from YGC. Doesn't get anybody, but Sammy Miami able to eliminate Godzilla. The Shatter also comes out and it lands onto 4. Sammy Miami starting to swing their hammer back and forth, eliminate the members here for the side of Jersey Boys. And it looks like Shake and Bake will be able to reclaim this. They lose their main tank, but at the end of the day, the point's going to be going to Shake and Bake.
Not a bad hold from Jersey Boys, though. 65%. That means Shake and Bake are going to have to do a couple of defensive holds here in order to be able to equalize on that percentage. They do have the tools to hold on here, though. You've got the Blizzard from Storm in order to make sure that you can hold on to that point longer. And if you're in trouble, you've got the beat coming out from the Lucio, but you've got the Blizzard on the other side from Titan, as well as the bomb to go into it. I think the Mei that gets the more value out of that ultimate is going to end up coming out ahead in this fight.
See what the plan is. Jersey Boys make the long rotation. Titan tries to go for the aggressive wall, ends up getting rocked out of it. That's the Blizzard. And there's the shatter from Godzilla landing on the 5 members of Shake and Bake. And the cleanup is there. Everybody from Shake and Bake falls. The Jersey Boys will reclaim the point quickly and effectively.
I was thinking that was gonna be a Blizzard bomb combo. Turns out Blizzard shatter. Jersey Boys are inventing new combos as the game goes on, teaching me a thing or two. And that means you now get to keep that bomb from BB8 in order to try and zone Shake and Bake out at 80% and counting from Jersey Boys. This is Shake and Bake's last real chance to try and get something done. They do still have that Blizzard though.
Yep, Storm able to get it off. BB8 was unable to eat it. The bomb, however, is invested here from BB8. Doesn't get any picks as the Symmetra walls are there from both sides. But Shake and Bake having trouble now, and Jersey Boys have found their footing. They're able to get 2 in this fight thus far. Jersey Boys cleaning off the rest of Shake and Bake one by one. Storm will get that kill on the Titan, but it won't be enough. It looks like at the end of the day, Jersey Boys is going to be winning here on Nepal Village convincingly, 40% to 100.
Godzilla is going to lay down the 3rd shatter of the round because why not?
Yeah, why not?
Jersey Boys. I really do think it comes down to that frontline battle at the end of the day. Both teams, I think, were running a very similar kind of composition, but when you are able to win the frontline duel so consistently as Jersey Boys was able to do there on Village, there isn't a ton that the rest of the team can do to support their frontline.
Yeah, definitely. Jersey Boys showing that sort of aggression, being able to take those advances first, benefiting them here as we're heading over to our next Nepal map.
Yeah, next Nepal map is going to be Sanctum, which is going to prompt a bit of a swap here from Shake and Bake. You've got more of a long-range double shield poke comp coming out from them. So here's the interaction that we're going to see. Jersey Boys really want to use that Lucio speed boost to try and close the distance on the Shake and Bake and run over their double shield, run over that Orisa Sigma composition. Meanwhile, Shake and Bake are going to try and use the long-range capability of Crispy and Storm to poke them out before they can get there.
Yeah, Jersey Boys making this advance very quickly here as they start rushing over onto the bridge. They go over across the waves and face Shake and Bake dead on, and they look like they'll be able to get the point first here. Shake and Bake want to take this long rotation into the room. Yep, Jersey Boys will get the first cap, and Shake and Bake need to try to find an opening.
Godzilla's already 60% to a shatter. Like, how does that happen? You're just chasing these tanks around the map, and you've already got shatter up. Are you expecting it if you're Shake and Bake right now?
Probably not, as they already have lost their main tank, and now Godzilla's dead to Crispy. Now that's 3 kills going in favor here for Shake and Bake. They've lost their Zenyatta, however, so they might want to be a little bit slow into this engage, but at the end of the day, they're still being able to try and get these picks that they need. Window is invested here from Pete to try and keep away Shake and Bake, and Bento is in the backline, uncontested. Crispy, however, gets the kill onto Pete, so now it's looking winnable here for the side of Shake and Bake, and they're going to be able to clean up these kills and be able to get the point here from the Jersey Boys.
And this is where Shake and Bake's comp really excels. The longer the fight goes, the more that Shake and Bake's long-range damage and sustained healing is going to be able to outduel Jersey Boys. They're very strong in the early fight when they have that Lucio speed boost to really close the distance, but while that's on cooldown, you don't have much of a way to really damage this composition.
Jersey Boys make their way to the right side, but the shield from Godzilla already broken up. The Dragon's there to separate them. There's a shadow from Godzilla, lands 3 on the ground, and all 3 of them fall immediately. Jersey Boys trying to bring this back, and there goes the Sigma to the pit, courtesy of Kitty. Jersey Boys cleaning up the fight with Godzilla's aggression, and they're going to be able to claim this point right back here, Dividing.
Yeah, great stuff there from Jersey Boys. If they're going to win this matchup, that's how they have to do it, right? They have to be decisive, they have to make quick plays, and end the fights extremely fast, and that's exactly what they did. And look at the ultimates now from them. The Deadeye, the Bomb, the Beat, the Amp Matrix coming up as well. Really everything except for the Shatter, and with how quickly Godzilla is building those up, I wouldn't be shocked if you had that as well. Shake and Bake do have a couple ults of their own, and they've taken out Bento to start off.
Yeah, big pick there from Story to be able to eliminate Bento, who was going for that flank pick. Godzilla, however, finds Sammy Miami, but the point flips over in favor of Shake and Bake here. Deadeye from Titan gets the kill into YGC. That could be big, and BB8 gets a double bomb to clean out the fight here. Jersey Boys looking really good. It's going to be Crispy using that bomb on point. It won't be able to get any kills, and the remake, unfortunately, won't be able to get anything either. And that's going to be the retake coming in favor here for the Jersey Boys.
Importantly, though, Shake and Bake actually managed to walk in and get the point flip before Jersey Boys could take it back, and that means that Shake and Bake are going to get one more chance here. That could have been end of the game, end of the map, but only 70% here for Jersey Boys. Shake and Bake have got to get something big out of this Dragon Strike from Storm, whether that's a pick or just splitting them off and opening things up, because Jersey Boys have the Shatter, the Death Blossom, the Beats. There's so much.
Bento already used that Death Blossom, gets the kill into Crispy, but Shaky Bake have responded with 2 kills of their own. Pete and Bento out, but Godzilla once again lands a massive shatter on all the members of Shaky Bake, and Jersey Boys cleaning up the fight just like that. The Jersey Boys are going to be able to clean up the rest of Shaky Bake. All that's left is Storm, and he will not be able to see the light of day. Crispy won't be able to touch the point, and Jersey Boys will take the win here on the ball.
You know, I think in the industry we call that a Godzilla difference. It's absolutely insane to me how quickly this Reinhardt was able to build up these shatters and how much value he got out of them literally every time. I don't think I saw a single shatter out of Godzilla that didn't knock down at least 3 and didn't end in a team wipe. And that's not just a big shout out to Godzilla for being a really good dynamic Reinhardt player. That's also really solid shout out to the rest of the Jersey Boys team, because it's not as easy as it looks to follow up on a Reinhardt Earth Shatter. They don't stay on the ground for that long. So whenever Godzilla lays down the hammer, the rest of the team is instantly ready to pounce and melt down in that slight moment of weakness. And I think that shows how well Jersey Boys works together and how much they've mastered this Brawl composition.
Definitely. Jersey Boys showing their aggression here, and Godzilla showing why he was one of the top 4 nominees when it came to the best main tank role this season. So really showing up their stuff here. But now Shake and Bake, they get the map choice heading into our 2CP map. Hanamura, Anubis, and Volskaya. Which map did they choose here, Dividing, if they haven't already chosen it? They've chosen Temple of Anubis, now that I say that.
Yeah, this is a good choice here for Shake and Bake. If you're them, you're trying to force Jersey Boys off of the Brawl compositions as much as humanly possible. Try and get them to go on to something else, get off of their rhythm a little bit, and Anubis is a pretty good place for that. Brawl tends to struggle, especially on the attack. Brawl tends to struggle on a lot of the 2CP maps just because there's a lot of space that they have to cover in order to get to that point, and then they have to hold it while potential double shield comms and dive comms are just constantly barraging them, and it's really tough to be able to do that. But Temple of Anubis is even more hostile than most just because of that high ground that the defenses are going to have access to, because of how far back a potential double shield comp can play and just poke away at that Brawl comp as they try to make it to both point A and point B. So we've seen a lot of really good coordination here from Jersey Boys, but we have to see an even bigger level of coordination from them and just understanding of how this comp works together if they want to continue playing this Brawl comp here on Anubis.
Absolutely. And also tonight, of course, is our main Tranquility match night. So all of our matches are being showcased across all of it. So we have a lot of different map scores as we're heading into the prep here for Anubis. And already one match has already been decided. In the Transcendence here, Reckless Sigma have already beaten Danger Close 3-0. So Reckless Sigma will be moving down the bottom bracket while Danger Close will be eliminated. We'll be updating you with other scores as the night goes on. But it's a fun night here for Tranquility. It's going to be interesting. And speaking of fun, the compositions we're already seeing from both sides here, Dividing.
Yeah, Jersey Boys might be debating us, so I'm not going to comment on that just yet, but I really do like this double shield comp from Shake and Bake. Storm on the Reaper is a little weird. It's a very close range character in an otherwise long range composition. I feel like Storm is going to have trouble getting value when you could get a lot more off of a Cassidy or a Hanzo. But other than that, I really like the double shield composition that's just going to melt down Godzilla as he tries to jump in onto this high ground here. You've got to find an early pick from Bento or Titan, or else you're just going to have a lot of trouble. Or maybe you just work to try and get that nano boost up from Pete as soon as humanly possible. Already halfway there.
Yeah, definitely Pete trying to build up that nano boost here. But Titan finds the headshot onto MyDad.com, eliminates that Orisa threat immediately here for the side of Jersey Boys, and the dive is there. Fury gets the res off, but ends up risking their life for it. Bento gets the kill off, but Crispy also gets the kill off on the Kitty, so it's really back and forth for the most part, but at the end of the day, Jersey Boys might have to sacrifice this because now they've lost both their tanks, the Storm on the Reaper.
Yeah, that's so tough. You have the opening there from Jersey Boys, and I don't think they were expecting to go up in the fight that early, so the ensuing dive was a little bit fragmented and not quite as much together as I think they would have liked. And again, the long-term, long fight sort of capability of the double shield composition ends up sustaining Shake and Bake through it. However, this is a really good opportunity for Jersey Boys. You can open up with that nano boost, and Godzilla is looking to cause some havoc.
Yeah, BB-8 also follows up, gets the kill onto YGC. The res also denied, and Fury will also cost their life for it. Crispy gets the kill onto Bento, but that will get rezzed up in the end. Jersey Boys now up 2 in this fight, and it looks like it's just going to be end of days here for Shake and Bake's defense. And Jersey Boys might be able to get this first point. Very questionable investment there from Strange Magic. Definitely a Strange Magic indeed, as Jersey Boys will be able to claim the first point here on Anubis.
You really would have loved to have that Ant Matrix going into that second point defense, but you're probably going to be okay either way. Jersey Boys ended up having to use a couple extra ultimates in order to ensure they were going to be able to get that second point. So you're probably in a solid spot still if you're Shake and Bake. You have pretty much everything except for that amplification matrix available to you to try and get rid of this snowball potential. That being said, if Bento can cause havoc here with this duplicate, Kitty can jump in with that Valkyrie and really damage boost it up, you would be in a really tough spot from Shake and Bake. You just have to be able to predict when that engagement is going to happen and be able to react accordingly. Don't let Jersey Boys decide the tempo.
Absolutely. Jersey Boys looking for the setup here. Sights are used by Titan. They find that the Echo Mercy in the back line, but that's a big flux coming out from YGC. Both tanks from Jersey Boys lifted into the sky. The duplicate used as well from Bento here, trying to bring it back, but already you see Shake and Bake picking off the Vix that they need, and that's going to be a cleanup here from the side of Shake and Bake. They're going to be able to defend here on point B.
Shout out on YGC, watching that Sigma point of view, did fantastic, tons of value out of the Gravitic Flux, and then using that accretion to cancel out the res from Kitty is able to save a lot of grief here from Shake and Bake. You really only use that Gravitic Flux in that fight. That is huge for them, right? You get to win, you just use one ult to win the fight, and you still have an incredibly good ult bank going into the next one. That's what you want if you're Shake and Bake. Just keep things cheap, keep things simple, or else Jersey Boys are going to have the advantage with still 3.5 minutes left.
Bomb engage from BB-8 to make sure Jersey Boys can make their way into the point. Nano Boost also used from Pete, but Bento has already found the kill into MyDad.com. There's already a big advantage here for the Jersey Boys. Storm tries to use the Blossom, gets swept up by Pete, and just like that, Jersey Boys already 2 up in this fight. Bomb invested here from Crispy as the res goes out, and suddenly Crispy starting to bring this back. That's 2 kills for Crispy, getting both tanks with the remake and the bomb. Suddenly, Shake and Bake trying to bring this back. Strange Magic's got the kill on the Bento. Kitty tries to bust out the blaster, but won't be able to get anything with it. And Shake and Bake get the hold once again.
This time around, it was Crispy that was able to come up clutch for Shake and Bake and make sure that Jersey Boys were unable to find any purchase on that point. Solid duplicate work from the the projectile DPS player moving over to the off tank for that fight. And this prompts a bunch of big changes here from Jersey Boys, going back to that signature brawl comp, Rhine Diva, but this means that it's going to take them a little bit of time in order to get that ult bank back up. Literally everyone swapped, but hey, this is obviously where Jersey Boys are most comfortable.
Absolutely, Shake and Bake now has to deal with this brawl composition, but YGC just has the range, but he gets stunned out. Titan uses the flashbang to stun out the Gravitic Flux, so that Gravitic Flux won't be getting any value, and now the picks start going in favor here for the side of Jersey Boys. Fury and Crispy are dead now to Titan and Bento, and Godzilla can just swing that hammer, going nuts onto MyDad.com. Jersey Boys starting to clean up the fight once again, and now it looks like they'll finally be able to get some sort of pressure here on the second point. What a shot from Titan onto Crispy.
2 minutes on the clock, and I don't think anyone from Shake and Bake is going to get back into that one. What an incredible display of Brawl Comp master from Jersey Boys. They had no ultimates, Bowsy. They had absolutely no reason to be winning that fight against Shake and Bake, who had 3 ultimates in that fight. But they just used that Lucio speed boost. They avoided the poke from the composition on their approach, and they just ran straight at that front line, completely overwhelmed the Orisa Sigma. That is how you beat a double shield composition as a Brawl composition. And it's clear that Jersey Boys has studied this matchup and knows how to play around it. And that is why even when all of the math says they shouldn't be able to win, they do anyways.
Yeah, definitely Jersey Boys showing that the ultimates may not be the only factor. Having that individual skill, having that teamwork synergy can definitely make a difference. Jersey Boys have been playing as a squad, I'm pretty sure, for 3 seasons now straight. So this squad definitely really synergized together. And now they get a chance to defend. They're once again pulling out the Brawl composition dividing.
Yeah, but interestingly, Bento is going to be moving on to the Torbjorn this time around. This tells me that they're probably expecting for there to be some sort of flanker from Shake and Bake. Someone's going to be trying to get around to the sides, get around to the back, and that's where that Torbjorn turret is going to come into play. Say a Tracer would have a lot of trouble dealing into the backline with that guaranteed auto-aim damage of the turret. Storm, if they decide to stay on that Soldier 76, is going to have a very similar kind of situation, because Soldier likes to run around to the sides to try and get above and over the shield of Godzilla, the defense matrix of BB-8. And Shake and Bake are running a pretty similar style of composition. It's all going to go down to YGC on this Wrecking Ball to try and initiate.
Oh, but Godzilla just says, no, you're not allowed to go through that room. He holds the W key and swings into the enemy side of Shake and Bake and gets all of them stuck in a pickle. Jersey Boys will be able to get the hold off quickly here.
I mean, that was just absolutely perfect from Jersey Boys. They saw the opportunity to cut off Shake and Bake in the middle of the rotation, and they just took it. And they take advantage of the speed boost from Kitty, and they completely catch Shake and Bake unawares. And look at the shatter charge from Godzilla, already 75% to a shatter here. Crispy, though, is getting a lot of really good poke damage here. 70% of his own, of their own, to a duplicate.
IGC goes to stall the point. BB-8 is there to try and contest it as well, so Jersey Boys waiting for the opportunity. But still, Godzilla does not want to stop being aggressive, and you can just tell by how much he's holding that W key and going straight into the face of Shake and Bake to eliminate all of them. The shatter gets 2, and once again, Jersey Boys get the hold.
Just this textbook aggression here from Jersey Boys. Shake and Bake just hasn't had the ability to set up a fight the way that they want to. This composition really depends upon YGC getting into place. Crispy, she's going to want to get a bunch of poke damage, but Jersey Boys is just jumping on top of them before that any of that can happen. But this is a good opportunity for them. Never mind, Bento just gets a random headshot with that Torb turret. That is going to force out the res extremely early.
Yeah, definitely, and YGC goes for the pile drive, gets burnt down by BB-8, and the amplification matrix here from Pete is also used. Crispy wants to invest the duplicate into this, tries to get that Devo duplicate. That's a massive anti-nade, but it's not going to do enough considering the Molten Core there is there from Bento.
That's a tough one from Crispy. She really wanted to play the hero there on that D.Va, try and jump in and get a massive bomb, but just doesn't end up happening. However, even though Crispy doesn't have the duplicate, Shake and Bake still in a very solid situation here with the other 5 ultimates available. You could put that onto YGC to make it even more of a crazy tie, but Bento again, just spamming into the choke, is finding so much damage.
And BB-8 shoots the bomb and gets Storm as well. Titan gets the Deadeye kill into MyDad.com, who couldn't get anything with that Gravitic Flux. And now it's looking kind of desperate here for Shake and Bake. Jersey Boys just been making a textbook hold here.
It's just crazy how Shake and Bake... I just don't feel like Shake and Bake has had a single opportunity to get a solid fight in here. Every time it looks like they're about to go in and just get set up for a fight, Jersey Boys finds an opportunity to go for an aggressive push, or they get a crazy early pick. And Shake and Bake, they've had the ultimate advantage pretty much this entire game, but it simply has not mattered. I could talk about how YGC still has those mines, Storm still has the Soldier 76 ult, but Crispy goes down early again.
Oh, but YGC uses the mines and is able to find out Bento on that Torbjorn. That could be big, considering Bento has the Molten Core here dividing. This could be an opportunity for Shake and Bake to try and push in. Storm uses the Tactical Visor on the high ground, trying to find any picks he can. Won't be able to find anything, but will force out that defense matrix for BBA. Now Pete is dead to Crispy. All of a sudden, Shake and Bake, they have finally woken up. Storm gets a double Helix rocket onto both of the tanks, and just like that, Shake and Bake will finally get some sort of progress here on point A.
Finally, Shake and Bake are able to get their ultimate set up in a favorable situation, and just like that, they're able to pick apart that Brawl composition. Now that Shake and Bake knows how to do it, I want to see them continue to try and go based on that. I'm curious though, a lot of them move into spawn. What are you going to swap to here if you're Shake and Bake? Are actually going to go onto a Brawl comp of your own? I'm a little nervous about this one, Bowsy. You're pretty much playing into the Jersey Boys playbook here. This might be what you're personally comfortable with, but it just feels like you're playing right in the Jersey Boys trap.
Definitely. It's going to be interesting to see how Shake and Bake will approach this Brawl composition, especially when Godzilla has Shatter up. It'll be interesting to see if Godzilla is able to land this, because we've been seeing his Shatters all game. Molten Core used by Bento, and it's a 3-man Shatter from Godzilla, and Bento's Molten Core just paints the floor red, and Jersey Boys get that clean and effective hold in a quick fight.
It's so quick, and that's huge for Jersey Boys here. Shake and Bake switching to the Brawl composition with about 2.5 minutes left should theoretically make it so that they're able to get up to a full cycle of ultimates before we get down into overtime. But because it was such a quick fight, still Storm, YGC, MyDad.com, Strange Magic are about 20% of their ultimates. They're not going to get to them at all at this rate. And if Jersey Boys can continue to be aggressive and end the fights quickly with these Deadeye, with this bomb, with the beat also from Kitty, they could pretty much stop Shake and Bake's push before it even starts.
Shake and Bake take that right approach, but Godzilla's already found the kill on MyDad.com. Already a big pick there, but Deadeye is used here from Crispy, and it's blocked entirely by BB-8 on that off tank. Tight uses theirs trying to clean up the fight, but it won't be able to do anything, and Shake and Bake will have to reset here with 1 minute and 30 seconds on the time bank.
So tough. MyDad.com goes down early once again. And oh no, this is such huge staggers here for Jersey Boys. Just surrounding and picking off the members of Shake and Bake. I don't know if MyDad.com's gonna get away. Just barely manages to do so. But it's just so difficult right now for this team to be able to get any sort of purchase on this point, Palsy. 55 seconds left on the clock, and look at those tank ultimates. I don't know if YGC or MyDad.com are going to get to their ultimates at all. You're still just working with the amplification matrix from Fury, which is a really nice resource for them. Oh, you can't lose Fury that early, though. Just barely manages to stay alive. But like I was saying, you have an Ant Matrix of your own on Jersey Boys' side, and the Beat, and the Shatter.
Yep, Jersey Boys initiate with the Ant Matrix, but there's the Shatter from Godzilla! Cleans up the field, and that Fire Strike is just gonna ignite the kill feed as well. Jersey Boys cleaning up that fight once again as quickly as they can.
I need a count from chat, or someone, of how many players that Godzilla has shattered over the course of the series. Feels like every single time they're able to knock down at least 3. And Shake and Bake, I mean, there's just nothing for them here. YGC's gonna be able to get on to that point, but the ultimates from Jersey Boys are just too strong. There's too much ground for Shake and Bake to cover, and Jersey Boys are going to take Anubis and move on to match point on the series, thanks to, once again, fantastic Brawl composition play.
Absolutely. You cannot argue with Jersey Boys' Brawl composition play. Bento gets the play of the game, but it was most likely because of that Shatter coming out from Godzilla. And exactly that. The Shatter was there, the Molten Core was there, and the cleanup was there. We just have been seeing so much synergy coming out from Jersey Boys, being able to execute these Brawl comps so well, and it's worked into their favor for the most part. Now, Shake and Bake facing match point up against the Jersey Boys and facing potential elimination from Tranquility.
This is really tough here from Shake and Bake. Over the course of this halftime break, they really need to have a deep talk here about how they want to deal with this brawl. There are some options here. You could go back to that double shield composition and try and poke away at that brawl before they can close the distance on you. You could run a more aggro composition like a 6-man rush and try to out-aggress them. But you just can't run Brawl into their Brawl. It's been proven over the course of these two maps that Jersey Boys are just going to beat you at that. So Shake and Bake have got to adjust a lot. Got to adjust something extremely significant in order to counter Jersey Boys. If they can do that and prove that they can stand up to the Jersey Boys Brawl comp and force them off their game, then who knows how far the series can go.
Absolutely. And of course, they're going to be going for their 10-minute halftime. Before we go to that, obviously, of course, as I mentioned, all the Tranquility matches are happening today. And thus, we have some score updates for you. In our matches thus far, Fire Breathing Rubber Duckies against Galactic Penguins in the Harmony North American tier. Currently, Fire Breathing Rubber Duckies have taken the first map off of the Galactic Penguins. Luminous Foxes versus Koala Kings. Luminous Foxes has taken the first map off of the Koala Kings.
Off of the number one seed.
Yes, that is the number 1 seed Koala Kings up against the number 5 seed Luminous Foxes. Frost Nova versus Doodles. Doodles has currently taken the first 2 maps in that series. Wildfire versus Geometric. Currently Wildfire trying to pull off an upset as the number 9 seed and get rid of Geometric. They are currently up 2-0 at the half. Frostbloom versus Chrysalis. Frostbloom currently up 1-0. Of course, we have other Discord tier feature matches. Renegades is up 2-0 over Rampaging Inferno. Cosmic Castaways up 1-0 over Redacted. SEAL Team Spuds currently up 2-0 over the Underdog's Oath. Space Created up 1-0 over Hammerhead. Domination up 1-0 over Frost Surge. Poseidon has just won the series against Valkyrie, the number 10 seed in Discord, knocking out the number 6 seed in Valkyrie. That is a massive upset, Dividing, definitely here today.
Yeah, huge upset. And then wrapping things up from the Transcendence tier, Decapitators and Insidious are currently tied up 1 apiece. Battalion is up 2-0 over Carnage. Epizeuxis, our number 1 seed, is up 1-0 over Reckless Arcadia. Devil Dukes are up 2-0 over Zeus. Puerto Rico, the number 7 seed, is up 2-0 over Throwing or Bad, the number 3 seed. That's a bit of an upset alert. Another one here, the number 7 seed, Vengeance, up 1-0 over Uzumaki. And then Billings Boomers are up 1-0 over Rat Society. A lot of playoff action going on in Tranquility at the moment. But for us here in our featured match, we're going to go to a halftime break here. On the other side, will Jersey Boys be able to finish things off with a sweep? Or will Shake and Bake start off a reverse sweep on their quest to make it to the knockout bracket? Don't go anywhere. The conclusion of the series is coming up after this.
Welcome back, everybody, to Tranquility Gaming Season 8 playoff coverage. If you missed the match thus far, Jersey Boys are currently up at match point here against Shake and Bake. Heading into our third map, Shake and Bake have chosen Hollywood. Bowsy here with dividing, and we're heading into a map with a lot of high ground dividing, as you mentioned over the break. It's going to be interesting to see what Shake and Bake pull out.
Yeah, I think especially on first and second point, Shake and Bake have made a good choice here. There is, like you mentioned, a lot of high ground, both around the first capture point and then throughout Streets phase for a potential longer range composition, whether that is the Wrecking Ball based composition or the double shield based composition that they could very much take advantage of. The important thing here is Shake and Bake here on Hollywood need to show that they have discussed over the course of the break how they're going to try and deal with the brawl from Jersey Boys. I think at this point, Jersey Boys, even if the situation doesn't necessarily call for it on paper, they're just going to run brawl anyways, because over Nepal, over Anubis, they have shown that they have mastered this comp so well that they can beat Shake and Bake pretty much whatever at it. No matter what the composition is, no matter what the positioning is, they can still win because they're just that good at it. And so, as Jersey Boys are looking forward to go out on this attack, Shake and Bake really need to show that they can stand up to that composition.
And the way they stand up to the composition, you stand up on the high ground with a double shield composition here dividing.
Yep. That is exactly where I thought Shake and Bake were going to go with this as soon as I saw the Hollywood map pop up here on the map select screen. That being said, we'll see if Jersey Boys decide to stick onto this one. It's a different style of composition. We've seen the Winston-based composition from this team before, but the Pharah composition here from Bento and Kitty is going to force Jersey Boys to play a little bit slower. You need to wait a little bit for those rockets to really accumulate damage onto those shields and onto those squishier targets.
Yeah, definitely. This is similar to what we saw earlier today with the EU Scrimbucks versus Hellhounds match, where there was a Pharmacy on the attack, raining down damage onto the enemy, and already Crispy finds the first pick off onto Kitty, and now Bento's dead to YGC. Already two big picks here from Shake and Bake, and they're going to be winning that first fight convincingly.
Crispy and Fury are going to have a significant advantage here over Bento and Kitty in the air. Crispy is just going to have so much extra air maneuverability in comparison to Bento, which is why that bar goes down so early. Jersey Boys, I think, really need to get on top of that double shield and just put pressure onto MyDad.com and YGC before Crispy can win that air battle.
And already BB8 gets that first kill on the Storm. The aggression is there from Jersey Boys, but Crispy has already found the Pharmacy duo. A big pick up there from the Echo, but now Fury is dead. That could be catastrophic here for Crispy as the Amplification Matrix is used from Strange Magic. Now you see Jersey Boys setting up on the point. The Nano Boost is used here from Pete onto Godzilla, but Crispy has found BB8 as well. The Dragon Strike comes in here from Titan, but it won't be enough. Shake and Bake will be able to get the hold again. Titan, however, gets that late pick off onto Strange Magic.
Yeah, that's actually going to be huge here as long as this bomb from Crispy doesn't get anything. Oh, it does. It takes out Pete. That is going to allow Fury to go in and get the res on the Strange Magic. So we are back into neutral territory here. Crispy has been the hero so far for the Shake and Bake squad. It's allowed them to try to hold on to this point for 2 minutes, and Titan's actually going to swap over onto the Ashe. A long-range hit scan competition is going to forego that air battle altogether and try to take them out from the ground.
Bento also on the Tracer here to try and pressure out the backline here for this double shield competition as Jersey Boys make their advance. Godzilla pulls out the Primal Rage, but BB8 loses their mech, and it looks like the rest of Shake and Bake just trying to get rid of the pieces. The Big Flux user from YGC only lands on the BB8 on the Baby Diva. They'll get killed out, and Shake and Bake continue this really good hold thus far here we're seeing from them dividing.
This is looking fantastic here from Shake and Bake. The longer this goes on, the more ultimates Jersey Boys use, the better it's going to be for them. And now with only 1:20 seconds on the clock, you can feel the pressure of that timer start to tick down for them. Bento's actually going to swap over onto a Genji here, a little more vertical here than a Tracer was in the past, so Bento's going to be able to get onto those high grounds directly with Godzilla and help that Winston out. But with only a minute left on the clock, it feels like there's just not enough time to build up a Nano Blade, which is why you would usually want that Genji in the first place.
We'll see if it works out as Jersey Boys make their engage here. The Dragon is invested here from Storm, and a lot of damage goes on to Godzilla and BB-8. BB-8 has to force out the bomb. Won't be able to get anything with it as the res goes on to Pete, who died to Crispy. Now the Amplification Matrix once again used by Stray Magic, and Godzilla's dead now to MyDad.com. Jersey Boys starting to falter a little bit when they're forced off this brawl composition that we've known them so well for.
They are struggling hard right now, Jersey Boys, with only 20 seconds left on the clock now. They have time for one more fight here, but I don't know if they're going to have enough time to really get set up. As far as the ultimates go, at the moment, they don't really have anything. Titan's close to the Bob, Pete is close to the Nano Boost, but you still need to wait about 20-15% to get those online. I don't know if you have that kind of time here.
Storm uses the Dragon Strike first. Once again, that's the second Dragon Strike in the last minute here for Storm, and already YGC has found the kill onto Godzilla. The Nano Boost is invested here to BB-8 as the Bob is also invested from Titan, but it misses the point. Now the blade comes out from Bento, and he's starting to slice away, but Titan's Bob is also able to get some kills, and it looks like finally Jersey Boys have broken that mold from Shake and Bake's defense, and they will be finally getting some progress here on the first point. All they have to deal with is Crispy and Fury, and they're going to be able to get some progress here on point A.
Clutch here from Bento, from Pete, from Titan. Get their ultimates online just in time. Literally could not have been any later than they were there, and Jersey Boys are going to be able to get the point moving here, get the point unlocked. But still, holding until overtime is extremely solid here from Shake and Bake. Shows that they do have a very solid understanding of this double shield composition and have done a really good job of poking away at this dive comp as they try and close the distance from them here. And they now have, look at all this high ground, all of this real estate that they have from Jersey Boys. I mean, Titan can't do anything.
Flux comes out there from YGC. It lands on the 3 members of the Jersey Boys, and now he's just going to town. 2 kills thus far, but Jersey Boys are still getting the pickoff. Strange Magic and Storm have died. Storm will get rezzed up here by Fury, but at the end of the day, looks like Shake and Bake will actually be able to get to the hold here. And only 51 meters pushed by Jersey Boys.
This is going to be really tough from Jersey Boys because Shake and Bake can just set up on these high grounds. And the long-range damage of Storm and Crispy and MyDad.com, even Strange Magic, is going to just put so much pressure onto this Jersey Boys comp. You need to have a quick and decisive dive here from Godzilla in order to be able to nullify that advantage that Shake and Bake have. And that massive anti, actually, from Pete might open things up here for them.
Yeah, that was a big anti-native. Forced out the Immortality Field from the side. Jersey Boys, and BB-8 gets a 2K bomb once again. The Nano Boost on the Godzilla there to clean up the rest of the fight, and Jersey Boys start making this card moving again.
Beautiful bomb from BB-8 to open things up for Jersey Boys and crack open that high ground composition. And now Shake and Bake are in a little bit of trouble. As soon as that cart moves over to point C, the point gets a lot more closed in. And that is where Jersey Boys is going to be able to swap back to that brawl and really start taking over like they have with the first 2 games. Shake and Bake cannot let that happen.
But they do. They don't step on the cart in time. They weren't able to get onto the cart, and the ultimates are already invested here from both sides. Crispy able to get that bomb kill, but what is it worth here?
It's worth pretty much nothing here. The point has been unlocked. The doors to point C have been opened here. And Jersey Boys are looking solid, looking confident, because Godzilla is back on that Reinhardt. BB-8 still on that Diva. Jersey Boys are going to slowly, gradually swap back on to that Brawl comp that they have just been dominating on from this point forward. That being said, it's not a guaranteed win here for Jersey Boys. They're starting over on those ult charges once again, and you're playing into the Dragon Strike and the Supercharger coming up from Shake and Bake.
Supercharger used first here from MyDad.com, trying to separate the rest of Jersey Boys into a location where they have to be stuck. Dragon Strike comes out as well. The Immortality Field is there from Pete to try and negate the damage, but also the Flux is there from YGC, and it gets 2. BB8 gets the return kill with that bomb, but it's not going to be enough. Shake and Bake will be able to win this fight once again, and now there's only a minute for the Jersey Boys.
That's exactly what you needed there from Shake and Bake. A decisive ultimate combo from YGC, Storm, and MyDad.com. And that allows them to stabilize here in what is one of the most crazy defensive points here on Hollywood. And it's just a bit of a mismatch here on the Jersey Boys composition. You've got Brawl tanks, but 4 longer range DPS compositions. It's a little weird, and Bento really has to make this Dragon Blade worth it.
Gonna be a dry blade, but already Bento has found 2. Strange Magic and Crispy die as Bento still wanting to get those slices. Gets the kill onto the Flying Mercy of Fury, and Jersey Boys cleaning up with that blade in mind. They're gonna be able to finish it out here on Hollywood with 18 seconds left in the time bank.
I said Bento had to make it worth it, and my goodness, they absolutely did. Like you said, it was a dry blade too. It wasn't a nano blade, which is usually what you need in order to get any value at all out of it. But Bento showed an incredible amount of prowess with that ultimate and was able to take out the supports easily. And with that out of the way, Jersey Boys were able to overwhelm Shake and Bake and finish with time, which is absolutely huge for them, considering how they were held on first point up to overtime. Shake and Bake was 1 fight away from a full hold here on Hollywood. Instead, now they are faced with a situation where they now have to complete Hollywood or else their season is over here, Bowsy.
Definitely, the pressure is on for Shake and Bake. It's all up to if they can withstand it and be able to continue their run through Tranquility. As Jersey Boys' composition comes out, no Brawl, Orisa this time.
Yeah, I think this is a solid composition for the map. Like we said, a lot of high ground on point A for you to take advantage of. So Godzilla on the Orisa is absolutely makes sense, and Titan and Bento are just spam incarnate. They're just going to be spamming those corners, spamming those walls, and Bento, especially on that Torb turret, is just going to be guaranteed damage here for Shake and Bake, which is going to be especially difficult for Storm here on this Tracer. Trying to get around to the sides is going to be taking so much damage here. A lot of this, though, from Shake and Bake is going to be resting onto the Mercy boosted Ashe of Crispy. If that Ashe can find an opening, get a pick off with those boosted shots, that could open things up in a millisecond for Shake and Bake.
Definitely. We'll see if Shake and Bake is able to take advantage of it as Jersey Boys set up on this far high ground. Shake and Bake coming in with that double bubble composition. The jump is there from YGC, and he just gets melted. A lot of damage poured into that monkey, and he's just going to fall immediately. Jersey Boys showing that they want to try to get this very close, like, brawl-style hold and try to make advantage of it. Titan getting that kill on the Strange Magic as well means that Shake and Bake need to try and get out of this fight.
Yeah, YGC can't just jump in straight up like that with no support, no other abilities there from the rest of the Shake and Bake squad. That's what just happened there. That's going to happen every single time. That Winston's just going to get melted down instantly from the Orisa, from the Torb, from the Soldier. It's just too much damage to do anything about it. And Jersey Boys are sitting pretty here on this high ground. Here's the thing. They are all just sitting on this high ground, and there's only one shield that's protecting all of them. That Orisa shield's, what, 600 health? If Shake and Bake can really focus down to the Orisa shield and get it down early in this fight, then that's a bunch of juicy targets for that boosted Ashe to push on. And oh my gosh, that high ground on that headshot on the Titan was almost huge, but it's just barely able to survive.
Yeah, barely. That could have been the turner of a tide because Titan got 2 of the last 3 kills in that last fight. So Jersey Boys trying to find their way to be able to hold this. Shake and Bake trying to find their way around this sort of hold and find their way into it. But already you see the time bank is 2 minutes left. Now the dive comes in from YGC, gets the nano boost from Fury, but gets knocked off the high ground immediately. No bubble available either. Storm's able to eliminate that turret as the tactical visor comes out here from Titan, trying to eliminate as many targets as he can on the side of the Shake and Bake, but gets picked up by Crispy. Now MyDad.com is dead, and now both tanks are dead for the side of Shake and Bake. All of a sudden, this plan might have failed for them as Jersey Boys continue this really good hold that they've had thus far. Pulse Bomb gets Kitty. It's still possible here for Shake and Bake to try and bring this back with their DPS and supports. The bomb from BB8 isn't able to get anything. It doesn't able to get the remake either. Bento gets the kill on the Fury, as Storm gets the kill off onto them. It's been a back and forth affair, but this bomb from Crispy might be able to help out a little bit as Shake and Bake try to stabilize themselves. Crispy gets that beautiful kill on the Titan, but BB-8 is still alive in this fight. It's been a back and forth affair here, Dividing, and I don't know who's gonna win this point at this point.
Yeah, Jersey Boys, though, they have the health advantage here. Grodzilla and BB-8 still large and in charge here, and it looks like the squishier members of Shake and Bake that are alive are not going to be able to deny Grodzilla the win here. 3K from the Orisa. Even though not playing Reinhardt right now, Godzilla is playing this Orisa like a Reinhardt, absolutely. And Jersey Boys managed to continue the hold, and that's huge here. Shake and Bake, they don't have a ton. They use a lot of ultimates in that fight to try and push it over, and they couldn't do it. They have the grab here from mydad.com, but the important thing here is that they have to close the distance onto that high ground. You can use the grab onto the high ground and lock them up, but Jersey Boys don't care. That's where they were anyways.
Oh, the amplification matrix is there from Pete. Gets the kill onto Fury as well. Titans found mydad.com as well. It's all going wrong here for Shake and Bake. BB-8 loses their mech, but at the end of the day, Shake and Bake, they need to try and reset quickly here because they don't have a lot of time left on the slug here, Dividing.
Not at all. They continue to fight into this one, and YGC going down so late means Shake and Bake aren't going to have another fight. I don't think they're even going to have overtime here, Bowsy. Jersey Boys, after what was a shaky offense, push it through to the end and then shut down Shake and Bake on point A of Hollywood to secure themselves a spot in the knockout rounds.
Jersey Boys showing their true skill throughout this entire tournament. There's a reason that this team only has 2 or 3 losses this season, and Bento gets the play of the game here with this Dragon Blade. Beautiful dash onto Fury there. Jersey Boys showing that they are meant to be in this tournament still, and Shake and Bake, unfortunately, a really good story and a really good streak of wins. Just couldn't clutch it up in the end. Shake and Bake, unfortunately, fall here. And Jersey Boys will continue throughout the tournament. It was an amazing matchup here, Dividing. But now we have to choose a player of the match. And I have a good feeling about who we think is the player of the match from Jersey Boys.
I mean, it's gotta be Godzilla, right?
Yeah.
You can't pick anyone else from this team. The fearless leader of the Jersey Boys squad. And on Hollywood, I'm going to be honest, huge shout out to the Jersey Boys team, because over the last 2 games, I've been characterizing this team as a Brawl 1 trick team, but they pulled out the dive. They pulled out the Orisa-based poke compositions and still beat Shake and Bake on both of them, showing that they actually are not a one-trick team and have a solid understanding of multiple different compositions. So as we move into the knockout rounds, it's not like whoever goes up against Jersey Boys is going to be like, okay, we just have to beat their brawl and then we're good. Jersey Boys have more than one play in their playbook here, and thanks to the leadership of Godzilla, no matter what they run, they're going to have a fantastic leader at the front.
Absolutely. Godzilla is my player of the match as well. Usually I don't double down, but I can't not double down when Godzilla is the pick. He was just a dominant force of nature. Big shout out to Bento as well, who did a lot of work for Jersey Boys being able to set up those engages. So really good job overall by the Jersey Boys to be able to bring it home. And of course, they'll be moving on. And also, there are a lot of other matches throughout Tranquility tonight. So, I mean, just looking at the results right now in the Harmony tier, Big Bang Buccaneers versus Strix. Big Bang Buccaneers have taken a map off of Strix. Firebeam Rubber Duckies versus Galactic Penguins. Firebeam Rubber Duckies are up 2-0 right now over the Galactic Penguins. Koala Kings versus Luminous Foxes. The Koala Kings have brought it back somehow. They are currently 2-1 over the Luminous Foxes. Amateur Professionals have taken the first map off of Nemesis in their matchup. Wildfire has lost a map to Geometric. Now that series is 2-1. Frostbloom is currently up 2-0 over Chrysalis. And really, all of Harmony tier is going to be interesting to see. But of course, there's always other matches in every tier.
Yeah, the Discord tier. Renegades has brought it back 2-1 over Rampaging Inferno. Cosmic Castaways is currently up 2-0 over Redacted. I believe we said this before, but SEAL Team Spuds did take the win 3-0 over Oath. That one is over. What's not over, though, is Space Created, who's up 2-0 over Hammerhead. A Domination, the number 8 seed, is currently up 2-1 over Frost Surge. Potential upset alert there. Poseidon has finished things off over Valkyrie, finishing off that upset. The number 10 seed is going to be getting a berth into the knockout rounds. And Moving on to, of course, the Transcendence here. Decapitators and Insidious are tied up 1-1. Battalion are up 2-1 on Carnage. Epizeuxis have finished things out 3-0 against Reckless Arcadia. Devil Dukes have also finished things out 3-0 against Zeus. Puerto Rico finished things out 3-0 overthrowing for bad. So again, a big upset there. The number 7 over the number 3 seed. Vengeance is currently down 1-2 over Uzumaki on series point, and Wrath Society up 2-1 over Billings Boomers.
Absolutely. A lot of interesting matches throughout Tranquility, and it's really going to be interesting to see how these matches play out. Make sure you stay tuned to Tranquility Gaming, because tomorrow we have another match that's going to be aired, and it's going to be interesting to see how that one goes out. That is going to be Joey Esports versus Quokka Queens, the Marsupial Org. The Marsupial Org rivalry coming back to bite these two teams.
That is
huge. One team gets into the championship bracket. The other is knocked down to the knockout bracket. So it's going to be a lot on the line there. But that is going to do it for us today. For everybody here in the Tranquility Gaming production, including our amazing observers, Juke and who was the other person? Kovathar, I'm pretty sure. Something along those lines. Kothar, thank you. Our producer is telling me. I apologize, Kothar, but thank you for your work. Our producer, as I mentioned, Hippie, and also my amazing co-caster, Dividing, who I had the pleasure of finally being able to cast with after... we almost casted together months ago, but now we finally got to be able to cast here today.
Hey, we got it done.
Yeah, but that is going to do it for all of us. For everybody I just mentioned, my name has been Bowsy. We thank you all for watching. Until we meet again, we hope you have an amazing night.
See ya.